So you started this very early on when there weren't as many women in the sport.
Yes.
Yeah. How much has it changed for you? Like how much have you seen it change?
Do you mean like as a competitor?
Sure.
Yeah.
As a competitor, as a coach?
I feel like it's changed heaps. It's growing and growing and growing. Like literally every day I feel like there's a new face and their ability is getting, do you know what I mean? More and more. The standard is like, it's crazy. I was just watching Kate Mitchell doing 130 kilogram stone. Just
easy.
Fun.
What do you attribute the growth to? What do you think has been the biggest cause? Because let's face it,
I feel like everyone, do you know what? No, I honestly think that it was kind of like we started something at the same time as a lot of other people also started something. And whether some gyms looked at it and thought this is a market, or whether they looked at it and gone, you know, this is something we would like to help the community with, I don't really care, because whatever happened, it worked. Does that make sense? But Absolutely. I do feel like everybody seemed to start doing this at the same time. And I think that because everybody did their bit, it did grow. Like it just kind of kept going and going and going. So,
and there's been a massive change in the entire fitness industry. Like even if you go to commercial gyms, the movement has gone away from like aesthetics to functional strength now. Most gyms have bumper plates and platforms and a matrix or something. It's completely changing, which is great.
It's good.
Maybe people are sick of like dieting.
Maybe.
Like cardio.
I think also role models, like it's starting to get a little bit more media attention.
Yes,
especially
100%.
things like CrossFit and the competitions. You know, I don't know how much of a role that I mean, you guys can confirm or deny this, but as guys...
I like watching the games.
No, but I was going to say the athletes, like girls might aspire to be like the athletes. Especially as guys growing up. I mean, powerlifting wasn't exactly a massively known sport when we were growing up, but everyone that you seem to talk to, leave the flies alone. Everyone that you seem to talk to, all the guys you seem to talk to, got into it because, mainly from a physical perspective, but a lot of the time it was like wrestling and stuff like that. That was a big thing, but now it's kind of becoming more fitness, if that makes sense, like functional fitness, CrossFit, or whether it's whatever.
Well, when I was born and I was a kid, it was because Arnold was huge, you know, like you're watching the Arnold movies, and then I was a big Hulk Hogan fan, and seeing these, you know, this dude with his 20-inch pythons and shit, and I'm 4 years old going,
fuck yeah.
Yeah, I'm struggling obviously, but there was that fascination, but it's sort of never really been the same for women, but it's just exploded in the last few years, and it's fantastic.
I don't feel like I had a lot of role models.
Yeah.
Like, my brother was my role model. He was, like, when I started trying to strength train, as I said, I wanted to get in the CFA, my kids were little. They were teeny little dots. I was at home, could never get to a gym. It was horrible. So he brought me all these free weights. He brought me, like, just from his home gym, set me up with my famous sled. Where is it? It's over there, tucked away in the corner. That's all I used to have. And I used to just walk up and down in my yard. And do you know what I mean? So I guess mine was goal orientated though for career purposes. Like that's where I wanted to be and that's where I wanted to go. And then I think when I did Pro Raw, so I did that strongman comp, but once again there wasn't a lot of people to aspire to. Like there wasn't a lot of people where I was going, I want to be like them. Like it just didn't exist. Well, I'm sure it did, but it didn't in my view. And the social media wasn't as big then either. I've forgotten where we were at.
Role models.
But so one thing I started doing straight away is, as soon as I could, was started putting all my stuff up. And I would feel like an idiot sometimes because I'd be like, oh, it's not even that good. But I was like, oh, but maybe, you know, maybe someone else will see that. And it did. And I feel like it really took off in the sense that then all of a sudden other women would start posting their stuff. And then, so whether it was like, they did it because I did it, but everybody just started doing it, you know, and it just grew, didn't it? And now there's heaps of people, like Pro Raw was really good for me, that first Pro Raw, because I think there was like 11 of us, and it was sorted out on a Wilks formula. So there was, is it Landy Weir? She was amazing, like she was a lot lighter than me,
60,
but
like low 60s or something.
Even lighter, wasn't she like
I thought she was
She's like a 52 class.
Really? I thought she was like 60, but I
I
couldn't.
know, she was teeny.
She was very little.
But she's strong.
Yeah, very strong.
And even though my numbers were actually comparable, but they weren't on Wilks. So that was my first introduction, was going off formula. So instead of aspiring to people as in like, oh, they're hitting that total, I had to look at it as in, oh, I want to do like 3 times my body weight, or I want to do 2 times my body weight. So now I just love the total.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care what anyone's body weight is. I'm like, look at that total. I want to do that total. Everyone's like, yeah, they're twice your weight. I don't care. I'm going to do it. One day.